Victoria Ballard here, and my book is finally published. It looks the wrong way round, doesn't it? From food addiction to recovery. And I'm offering free copies in PDF form. Anyone that wants to read it. It's 168 pages, including the contents and all the rest of the blurb. And it covers everything that I've been talking about in these videos, anything to get you fat burning and cell regeneration. It's all in here, the intermittent fasting, the carnivore diet, which I am really happy to say that I am back on now and doing very well on it. And yes, I would really like to get some reviews, because if you don't get reviews for a book, it just goes down the ratings until it disappears, which seems a shame. So if you're anywhere in the world, it's supposed to go on amazon.co.uk. The review is supposed to go on amazon.co.uk. I'm trying to get it into some link that means that the whole world shows up on my UK page. It's still the first book of its kind on the bestsellers list. It hasn't got reviews, and that's what I'm wanting. But I have to say that all the evidence of food addiction, when I decided to change the title, I looked into addiction to quite a large extent and found that a lot of the processed foods are actually purposely given ingredients that make us want more. So the food industry is only interested in profits. And of course it's producing keto snacks and keto bars, but only because they'll sell and they'll make a profit. And I'm really also seeing that, we all know, well, maybe you don't know, but sugar is highly addictive. Some women I know are addicted to fruit. They eat tons of fruit, and that's fructose, which is even worse than glucose. And table sugar is 50% glucose, 50% fructose. So they're honestly addicted to fruit, and I know it's supposed to be so healthy. I think they have been indoctrinated. They shouldn't really say fruit and vegetables, you're 5 a day. They should say vegetables 5 a day, because if you're, I'm just going to say slightly obese, but if you're not happy with how much fat is around your belly and your organs, you may not even be fat, but you might have fatty liver, there might be fat around the organs, and we want to be fat burning, so we don't want to be eating bad fats. And the worst of those, of course, are the vegetable and seed oils, which are they go to really high temperatures to process them, and they're quite cheap. So people buy them because they're cheap, and they're quite sort of tasteless to cook in. But they are like hundreds of omega-6s, which knock out your omega-3, because the omega-3, omega-6 balance really affects our mood. I mean, our ancestors were 1-to-1, omega-3 to omega-6, when they had some nuts and some tubers with some 6 in, but most of the omega-3 came from the meat they were eating. So if you're on a carnivore diet, you're almost certain to have a very good omega-3 to omega-6. And hopefully you can report, I would love to hear in the comments, if by going carnivore or ketovore or ketogenic has improved your mood, then I'd be really happy to hear your comments. So we're really looking at addiction. Snacking is very, very prevalent, and that spikes insulin, and it makes it very difficult for you to get into fat burning. You get into fat burning when you're not eating, or you're not eating carbs. So you'll be in fat burning if you're eating nice fatty steaks. We even want the fat 1-to-1 on carnivore. So do think about your omega-3 to omega-6, because that will boost your mood and will perhaps cure the cravings for foods that you know put on weight or just aren't good for you. And although it's convenient to use like processed foods in ready meals and stick it in the microwave and there you've got a meal, it's very convenient. But it's also, I think it's even more convenient to get a thin steak when they're not that expensive and just really quickly fry it or air fry it, and it's actually quicker than sticking a microwave ready meal in the oven. So I would definitely say that the carnivore diet is very convenient. You're only eating meat, and if you like steaks and burgers, I mean, you can buy fatty mince, make it into burgers, and fry them, and they're done in 3 to 5 minutes. So I mean, really, you can't say that carnivore isn't convenient. And as for intermittent fasting, when you're not eating at all, that's the most convenient of all. That gives you more time for your hobbies, for your passions. If you have to make more money, it gives you more time to work. And if you've got an online business, it gives you much more time to do your online business. And that might be a side hustle or it might be your full-time job. But whatever it is, it's convenient not to eat. So you can try 16-8, 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating. And that might work for you. That might be all you need to do. In my 50s, that was all I needed to do. I came off Atkins. Well, I didn't really come off it because I carried on eating the foods that were allowed on Atkins. But I introduced the 16-hour fast, and at last my weight started to shift. So, intermittent fasting, 16-8. You don't have to do it every day if you are losing weight, say doing it 3 times a week. If that's not working, you go to 18-6, 18 hours of not eating. 6 hours of eating still allows you 2 meals a day. And if you're still not losing weight, give it a few weeks. I mean, you don't expect results in a few days, even though that's promised by many people. Give it a few weeks, and if it's not working, then you have to go to 1 meal a day, and you can get really, really stuffed by eating steaks and burgers. You are allowed fish, as much fish as you want on the carnivore diet. So it's really not that. I mean, I don't find it boring at all. Some people would say it's boring and they want to change it about. Well, there are lots of good cookbooks on Amazon, and there are recipes by Two Crazy Ketos on YouTube. And there's something I really like about the Two Crazy Ketos is they make a carnivore mayonnaise with egg yolks and melted butter, just whisking and whisking and whisking. Not hot butter, because that would cook the eggs. But they make a delicious mayonnaise. And I sometimes do that and put that on the steaks if they're, yeah, they come, oh, in the UK, people don't like fat on their meat. It's really difficult to get hold of fatty meat. But luckily, the fatty meat is cheaper, and you can make burgers with it. You can just have fatty, they don't have very many fatty steaks, which is why it's nice to either add a bit of butter, fry it in butter, or put some of the crazy ketos, 2 crazy ketos it's under, their special mayonnaise. You can spread it on the meat, just for a little bit of variety. So, don't forget my book. It's all about the author on the back, and there's all my decades and decades of experience in this field. And I'm willing to answer your questions, either in the comments, or you can email me. I always put my email address in my description. So I'm really more than happy to answer your questions and send you a book in a PDF. Yeah, save the postage. And save your eyesight. You can just listen to it. It's not on Audible yet, actually. It will be on Audible, but it's not on Audible yet. So, best of luck with your weight loss, or just your health plan, or your mood elevation plan, using carnivore and intermittent fasting. You can't go wrong. You'll get there in the end. Thanks. Bye.